Welcome back. I'm Fredicia Liburd. Junior Minister of Health and Gender Affairs, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, in a statement made on March 2nd, appealed to residents to report incidents of gender-based violence to the relevant authorities. This in light of recent reports that she said had caused her and her cabinet colleagues overwhelming concern.
If wives, mothers, or children are being physically abused, we are all encouraged to alert the relevant agencies, the police, social services, or indeed the Gender Affairs Division.
Nevis successfully defended its championship title at the 46th Leeward Islands Debating Competition held in Anguilla from March 2nd to 4th. This is the second time Nevis has won the championships for 2 consecutive years. This year's competition brought together students from Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Martin, and host Anguilla to debate issues germane to the region. The winning team was welcomed by their peers, family members, and well-wishers, and the team from the Nevis Island administration.
I want to congratulate you and really to echo the sentiments that Minister Liburd has expressed, that you are an inspiration, not only for your peers, but I think for all of Nevis. When bad things happen on the island, it affects all of us. And when good things happen, it equally inspires all of us. I'm exceedingly proud as Premier to welcome you home, to welcome you as champions, repeat champions, and to say to the team for next year that obviously the pressure is on and you will now have to three-peat.
When I was watching, I think my feed got interrupted just before the announcement was made, but there was no doubt in my mind that we were going to win. And so this bodes well for us here as Nevisians. I believe that in you, we see the future of the island, we see future leadership here, and I was very heartened to watch and to listen, and I'm looking for great things in the future from those of you here and from your other classmates and peers, and I hope that you will be an inspiration to other young people here on the island of Nevis.
The Nevis Island Administration's cabinet, led by Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley, toured the site of the Treasury building reconstruction project on March 7th. The original building was gutted by fire in January of 2014.
We would like to be able to consolidate the services of most of the financial services in terms of inland revenue and IT, and certainly to ensure that we have here at a central point in Nevis a facility to serve Nevis for the next 20, 30, 40 years. This building is quite impressive in terms of its size and scope. We've heard that it will provide for the various services. We have elevators that are in this building. We're going to have handicap access, which I think many people living with disabilities have complained that many of our public buildings don't provide for them, so that provision is made. And I think we're forward-looking in terms of what we're seeking to accomplish here.
The building is a Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation SIDF approved project. The 3-story building, when completed, will house the Treasury, Inland Revenue and Information Technology departments. The project is expected to be completed within the next 12 months. The Nevis Island administration will address the barriers that contribute to the higher prevalence of chronic kidney disease in women versus their male counterparts. That assurance has been given by Junior Minister of Health and Gender Affairs, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, in an address to mark the observance of World Kidney Day on March 8th.
Access to end-stage renal care through hemodialysis services will soon be a reality in Nevis as we expand the Alexandra Hospital to include a dialysis unit with adequate water treatment capabilities. This will ensure physical access on island to the 3 patients from Nevis who are currently on hemodialysis, some of whom are women. On Friday, 23rd February, the Federation launched the Universal Health Insurance Initiative, which will ensure access to health care for all in the population, including those with pre-existing conditions, including CKD.
The Office of the Premier on March 9th once again appealed to public servants to be more responsible with regard to the use of government-owned vehicles. Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley, who had raised the matter in the January 4th meetings with senior civil servants and his February 22nd press conference, referred to it as a question of liability which has become of concern to the public.
So when I see government vehicles with a big G parked up in places off hours, outside hours where they're not supposed to be, that is a matter that the public is concerned about. What if off hours, after hours, you're out, you're having your drinks, you're partying, and the vehicle crashes? What happens? You come now to the government and you say, well, the government vehicle, so the government responsible. We have asked, and I believe the first act I did as Premier was to send out something saying that we want government vehicles to be parked up in the government compounds at the end of the workday. Unless heads or permanent secretaries say that this is an essential vehicle or that they give permission for you to have a government vehicle outside working hours, for those who don't need it, we ask them to be parked, and we intend to enforce it.
The Honourable Mark Brantley on March 13th facilitated the first meeting between the Nevis chapter of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce and himself as Premier of Nevis. The purpose of the meeting was to get a better appreciation of the needs of the members of the chamber and how the government can assist and partner with the business sector.
We feel that the public sector, the government, has done quite a bit in terms of injecting resources into the economy, in terms of infrastructure and other developments. And so now we feel that the private sector, we hope, can take now some of that responsibility off of the government's shoulders. The government will continue to do its part, but the hope is that the private sector could be so stimulated that it can take some of the slack, so to speak.
March 13th also saw the Ministry of Social Development donating 15 chairs and 10 desks to the Nevis prison farm at Russell's Rest to aid in the human resource development.
Prisoners, I believe, like everyone else, deserve a second chance, maybe third and fourth chances. And I am one who always believe in second chances. And if persons are sent to prison for whatever reason, they should not just be cast aside. And I want to commend the prison officials here for this initiative of trying to teach the prisoners something. And the Ministry of Social Development, we are exceptionally pleased and delighted to be able to partner with the prison here, the prison farm here in Nevis, to start this program. I must say here as well that I must give commendation and kudos to the former Minister of Social Development, the Honourable Hazel Brandy Williams, because this process would have started under her. And she's the one who would have given the green light from the beginning to get the desk and the chairs for the prisoners. When I walked in here this morning, I was very pleased. It's a nice little facility, nice little classroom. The desks are looking extremely good, the chairs as well. And I want to implore the authorities here and of course the prisoners to take very good care of these desks and chairs.
Minister Evelyn presented the items to the Chief Officer of the Nevis Prison Farm, Sean Edwards, who expressed his gratitude to the Ministry of Social Development for its efforts in making the program a reality. The ceremony was chaired by the facilitator of the educational program, Virgil Hodge. Early in March, manager of the Nevis Water Department, Roger Hanley, announced the new water rates for services which will come into effect from April 1st, 2018. The information was released on the heels of the announcement of a 30% increase in rates during the NIA's 2018 budget debate.
For domestic users who consume 1,000 gallons or less, the existing rate was or is $10 per thousand. The new rate would be $13 per thousand. For persons who consume more than 3,000 gallons, the existing rate is $12 per thousand gallons, and the new rate would be $15.60 per thousand gallons. For persons who are needy, the existing rate is $3 monthly. The new rate would be $3.90 per month. For seniors who consume less than 3,000 gallons, the existing is no charge. The revised tariff, the revised tariff is no charge. For seniors who consume more than 3,000 gallons, the existing rate is $10 per thousand. The new rate would be $13 per thousand gallons. For farmers, those who use less than 10,000 gallons, the existing rate is $5 per thousand gallons. The new rate would be $6.50 per thousand gallons. For farmers who use more than 10,000 gallons, the existing rate is $10 per thousand gallons. The new rate would be $13 per thousand gallons. For trucking, the existing rate is $40 per thousand, and the new rate would be $52 per thousand gallons. For water sold for irrigation purposes, the existing rate is $25 per thousand. The new rate would be $32.52 per thousand gallons. For hotels, commercial and industrial users, the existing rate is $25 per thousand. The new rate would be $32.50 per thousand gallons. Four Seasons irrigation, the existing rate is $20 per thousand gallons. The new rate would be $26 per thousand gallons.
A team from the US-based Geothermex contracted by the Nevis Renewable Energy International (NREI) to determine the status of the geothermal test well at Hamilton says their findings confirm the requisite temperature and flow necessary for the sustainable supply of geothermal energy on Nevis. As of March 19th, the test results at Hamilton continue to hold steady, with surface reading temperatures of 255 degrees Fahrenheit, steam temperatures of 411 degrees, and well temperature readings of more than 400 degrees. The testing operations at Hamilton are completed. Though the drilling plan was to go to 4,000 feet, they entered the geothermal reservoir, which has a capacity exceeding 5 megawatts of energy before.
And from the initial measurements and numbers, things are looking very, very promising. And this would transform the entire island of Nevis. We're looking forward to this geothermal project becoming a reality in the very, very near future.
NREI was contracted by the Nevis Island Administration to harness the island's geothermal energy. Drilling for the production wells on the site are expected to begin late this summer. On March 22nd, the Minister responsible for water services, the Honorable Spencer Brand, while making an address to mark the observance of World Water Day, noted that the NIA will take an important step in the near future to designate Nevis Peak and the Camps River Gut as environmentally friendly protected areas. Minister Brand then outlined several advantages of taking this step.
Sustain the productivity and health of critical ecosystems, which support key economic sectors, including agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and tourism. 2. Provide places and opportunities for outdoor recreation and enjoyment. 3. Contribute to the maintenance of the nation's water supply by providing effective watershed management. 4. Conserve critical habitats necessary for the maintenance of animal and plant species. And 5. Conserve representative elements of natural and cultural heritage. We will continue to support and work with other stakeholders who are taking steps to protect nature for water, such as planting trees or reforestation, monitoring and controlling activities that negatively impact the ecosystem, which affect our rainfall pattern and eventually our precious water resources.
The theme for World Water Day was Nature for Water. The Ministry of Agriculture hosted its 24th annual Open Day on March 22nd and 23rd. Deputy Premier and Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, used the opportunity to thank those who have made the event a success over the years.
We suffered in excess of $4 million worth of damage here in the agricultural sector. And to that I must say that we have recovered nicely to put on this event this year. And when you look at the displays, the crops, the meat products, even the agro-processed products, you would realize that some hard work would have been done over the last 6 months to ensure that we get to the stage where we are at. And I want to thank all of our stakeholders, farmers, livestock farmers as well, also our fisher folks, for ensuring that the hard work and dedication that is necessary to ensure that we put on a good show, not only put on a good show, but to ensure that they themselves make some money from this event is a reality this year.
In a door ceremony held on March 28th, the Nevis Athletic Stadium was officially opened. The new facility at Low Ground was the venue of the 36th Primary Schools Athletics Championships. Premier and former Minister of Sports, the Honorable Mark Brantley, described the event as a momentous and historic day for Nevis.
That this facility epitomizes the commitment of this government and the people of Nevis to our youth. The contribution of this new grand facility will be a game changer in the future of track and field on our island. I am advised that the Caribbean Union of Teachers Games will be held this year on the 13th and 14th of July in Bermuda. In the past, the Nevis teams traveled to St. Kitts to practice on the Mondo track at the Kim Collins Stadium. As of today, ladies and gentlemen, that is no longer necessary. As a result of this track, we can now bid for regional meets such as the Cut Games to take place on our beautiful island of Nevis. Last week at the TDC-sponsored Inter-High School Championship, the president of the St. Kitts and Nevis Amateur Athletic Association, Mr. Val Henry, pledged that for the 2019 track and field season, some of their meets will be held at this facility. With these few words, it therefore gives me great pleasure in declaring the official opening of this 9-lane Mondo track facility and the start of the 2018 Gulf Insurance Primary Meet.
Following a full day of keen competition in the 60, 100, 200, 400, 800 and 1200 meter flat races and the 4x100 and 4x400 meter relays, Charlestown Primary School and Joystick Liebert Primary School emerged joint champions with 181 points each. The Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School were the Zone B champions with 128 points. The meet was held under the patronage of Jamal Hamilton and Latoya Jones, athletes and former students of the St. Thomas's Primary School. For the 26th year, the competition, dubbed the Mini Olympics, was sponsored by Gulf Insurance Limited. Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley says he feels his administration has made great strides.
For 100 days, it's been pretty packed with activities, and we continue to make best efforts to ensure that we give our people the type of representation that they voted for, and we continue to keep our commitments that we would have made in our manifesto and during our campaign.
On that note, we conclude this special edition of the Nevis Newscast. A look back at the Nevis Island administration's first 100 days in office. I'm Freddie Liebert. Thank you for viewing. Bye. Inland Revenue and Information Technology Departments. The project is expected to be